Hello everyone, I'm Jordana Van of Ravenlight Holistic Healing, and welcome to part 1 of 3 of connecting with your animal totems and spirit guides. Now, I originally wanted this to be one video, but when I recorded it, it was over half an hour long. And I am endlessly amazed that you guys can watch me talk for over half an hour on some of my longer videos. But my own attention threshold isn't that great. I actually kind of max out around 10 minutes. So for the rest of you guys who prefer your wisdom in smaller doses, I've broken this video into 3 shorter segments. Now, when it comes to connecting with your totems and spirit guides, the process isn't so much about what you do as what you don't do. In other words, it's something that really will happen naturally if you just allow it. And so the reason that it doesn't happen when you want it to is often that somehow you've gotten in your own way. So I've found that it is more productive to address the how do we connect with our totems and guides question by talking about what not to do rather than what you can do. So in this and the next 2 videos, I'm going to talk briefly about the ways that I experience my own totems and guides to give you an idea of how easy it is. And then I'm going to talk about some of the things that you may be doing that are preventing you from having those experiences. And in the last video, I'm going to explain why sometimes we can be doing everything right and still not be getting an answer, and how this is actually as it should be in some cases. And so you can put your mind at ease and not worry when you're not getting the answer in the form that you maybe think that you should. Also, before we start, as with all of the work that I do, the only truth to which I ascribe is that there is no truth that works for all of us. I really do believe that our experiences are unique, and so that something that resonates with one person and is perfect for them won't resonate with someone else and is wrong for them. And I believe that the same thing goes here. So with the wisdom that I'm sharing, this comes from my own experience. It resonates with me, and I find that it resonates with many of my clients. But if you watch this and go, you know what, this just doesn't work for me, then that just means it's not right for you. And keep looking. You will find exactly what is perfect for you. So don't give up. Anyway, so moving right along. So I'm going to share with you guys how I connect with my totems and spirit guides in order to address the first way that we tend to block ourselves from making the connection we want, which is that we often feel like we need the experience to occur in a certain way. What often happens is that somewhere along the line, we have this huge, incredible, mind-blowing experience, maybe a super intense vision, or we meet our animal face to face and look it in the eyes, or it comes over to us and lets us pet it, or we've had other people tell us about their amazing experiences, or we read about someone who has one. And so we think that the only way we can have the right experience with our animal totems and spirit guides is if it is just this big, huge, dramatic, epic thing. Or we get used to having a particular kind of experience, and so we expect that it can only occur that way. And the truth is, guys, most of your experiences aren't going to be the mind-blowing kind. I'm not saying they aren't going to happen, because they most definitely will, but they aren't going to be all that there is. This is one of those places where we really have to just let go and let the universe work its magic. So, like, I've had some incredible, just wow experiences, and I've also had really life-altering wisdom that has come to me through a series of smaller, seemingly trivial events, like seeing the same animal on someone's t-shirt one day, followed by on a tattoo the next day, followed by on a bumper sticker the 3rd day. And these experiences are no less meaningful for all that they are considerably less dramatic. So I want to give you guys a little dose of reality here, so that you're not comparing yourself to an overly dramatic standard. So the way I experience my guides and totems, I'm going to be listing kind of in order from least frequent experience to most. So I have had a handful of experiences, actually more than a handful, but not a huge number, in which the animal literally appears right there, right next to me. And it's not in a, oh, I'm seeing this with my physical eyes fashion. It is more of a third eye sort of awareness, where I can see it up here, but I also know it's over here, so I can turn around and look at it, and I'm not seeing it with the physical eyes, but I can still see everything going on with it. Sometimes I can feel it, sometimes I can smell it, sometimes I can hear it. I had tiger breathing on me once. That was very interesting. These experiences are very visceral, they're very jarring, and they are very powerful, and they are also, if the universe needs to get my attention right the heck now, that will most definitely do it, because there's really no way to not pay attention to that happening. But these are in the minority. So they occur, but that is not my day-to-day experience. And the reason for that is that the universe doesn't actually need to use that with me anymore. I pay attention to everything. And so I don't need the tiger breathing on my ear to get me to listen to tiger's wisdom. Now, second, I will sometimes have a vision. When I do have visions, they are not the sort of thing where I'm driving along and all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I'm having a vision. They tend to occur when I am meditating. And for me, meditation usually just means that I lie down or I sit down, I close my eyes, stop thinking and just go, whatever, universe, send me something. I never ask for an animal specifically. I just am so used to receiving information in many, many different ways that I never have to say, universe, send me an animal. I know it's going to send me what is best for me. So if I have a vision while I'm meditating, the animal itself may appear an anthropomorphized version where it's like a human version of that animal will show up. Sometimes they will speak, sometimes they won't, sometimes their very presence will be the message. That does happen. Sometimes I will dream about an animal. Now actually I dream about animals all the time, but when you dream about an animal, it doesn't always represent communication from your totem and spirit guides, because the animals themselves also have meanings that are unique to dream symbolism. And so in my case, if I need to receive guidance from an animal, totem, or spirit guide, it will usually show up when I am consciously awake, or at least in meditation. When I'm dreaming, the animal usually represents something to do with a dream symbol and not with totem or spirit guide wisdom. So, third way that I will often experience my totems and spirit guides is live animals. I am rather fortunate in that most of my totems are geographically native to the United States, and so seeing a bear, a mountain lion, a snake, a red-tailed hawk, a raven, which are some of my totems, not that uncommon. And so I have the blessing of being able to connect with these things in real life. And sometimes I'll go to a zoo or something and I will see the animal there and feel this deep sense of connection. My husband, who's a dragon person, is less fortunate. So needless to say, there have not been any real life experiences with dragons for him. And I'd like to add that, I have some friends and clients who, when they have an experience with their animals in real life, it is so powerful. They feel this overwhelming sense of divine connection, and it is beautiful and amazing. And that has happened to me on occasion, but the more I do this work, the more it is just something I am so used to that I will see the animal live. For example, red-tailed hawk, best buddies. I see him all the time. It's more just kind of, hey brother, what's up? And nice to see you, just like you would with another human being, and not this intense, oh my goodness. So if you notice that when you are having the, real life experiences with your animals and they just feel like, this other creature that's over there, and what you're receiving from them is an intellectual confirmation of some kind of wisdom, that's okay. It doesn't have to feel overwhelming, oh my God, warm fuzzies every single time. So, okay. Fourth way that I will experience my totem and guides, and remember, we're moving from least frequent to most, is magnets, pictures, t-shirts, tattoos, bumper stickers, paintings, videos people send me, tarot cards, open a book and there's a picture, whatever. That is one of the most frequent ways that I get guidance, is all of a sudden, every image I'm looking at or everywhere I go, it has the same animal on it, or it's a reference to that animal. And this is a really easy way to receive guidance from the universe. My attention is just drawn to something in particular. The most common way that I experience my guides is that the image just pops into my head, just right into the mind's eye. That's it. I usually meditate in the morning when I wake up and in the evening before I go to bed. And so I'll just kind of be sitting there. Sometimes my meditations are more formal than others. I'll just kind of be sitting there thinking, okay, universe, I have this question, and before I have even formulated the question, boom, there's the animal. And this is it's not very dramatic, not very overpowering. It's just, there it is. It's like using your imagination. Oh, all of a sudden I see a panda bear, or, oh, there's a giraffe. okay. And sometimes I know what the critter is, and I can immediately go about going, okay, you know, because I do what I do for a living. Okay, well, it's this animal, that represents this. Okay, I can see how that answers my question. Sometimes I look at it and I have no clue what the heck it is. There have been some very interesting mornings where it's like, okay, let's go ask the Google machine. And so I have to type into Google, you know, animal that is black and fuzzy and has long legs and a, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then I go through Google Images until I find a picture that matches it. And then I have to sit down and research it. Okay, what kind of animal is this? What are its qualities? What does this mean metaphysically? That's always a lot of fun. I really do enjoy receiving something new to work with. Now, as I mentioned, for myself, I never say, universe, send me animal wisdom. I just don't. I don't see the reason to, because there are so many ways the universe can communicate with me, and the universe is the one who knows everything. So if it thinks sending me an animal as a guide is the best choice, then that's what it will do. And if it doesn't, it will send me something else. But there are times when I deliberately ask for animal wisdom, and that is when I am working with clients. So when I'm doing the meditation before I speak with a new client, I will sit down and say, okay, universe, are there any animals that are here to assist my client at this time? And if so, can you please let me know what these are? And so either I will have that very visceral experience where it's like I can hold it in my hands, I can feel it even though it's not there, or I can kind of feel images of it. It may just kind of pop up in the mind's eye. I may be directed to go to a book, open the book, and then on that page, the animal is there. So I almost always get an answer then. I mean, it's very, very, very rare that what I receive back is, no, there's no animal at this time. And so that is the one time where I feel comfortable actually saying, universe, give me an animal. So you guys can see that this isn't something that really requires any effort. You don't have to sit and meditate. You don't have to do any rituals. If you find a ritual that feels comfortable for you, that's awesome. Keep doing it. But if you really just want to relax into the process and just let it happen, then that is really totally okay. And again, that's what works best for me. I'm not a big fan of rituals that are done for the sake of this type of thing. If I'm going to do a ritual, I want it to be something where the ritual itself is the means. The ritual itself is what to be enjoyed, not what I'm supposed to get out of it. So I'm going to stop part 1 here, and you can go on to part 2. Please remember that I don't provide free commentary about people's spiritual situations. So if you're interested in receiving my perspective on your personal experience at this time, then please feel free to schedule a formal session with me. I work with people all over the world, and I would be delighted to work with you. You can do so by visiting my website, which is www.ravenlightholistichealing.com. If you look at the services tab, it'll tell you exactly what kind of work we can do together. If you go to the contact tab, it will tell you how to get in touch with me and exactly what is needed. And if you're just interested in receiving consistent posts and information about various metaphysical matters, animal totems, astrology, and holistic healing, and everything in between, and some things that totally have nothing to do with that at all, but I just think are hilarious, then you can visit my Facebook page, which is Raven Light Holistic Healing, LLC. Don't visit my personal page. If you look me up personally, I just tend to ignore those requests, so make sure you go to the business page. And I will see you guys in part 2.